Hello world, what is up? Thanks for tuning in. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make a clean tail for your Sur-Ron Ultra Bee. In this video, I'm going to print the version with the license plate holder option. So it will look like this. You can mount your license plate as well. But I also have a version without a license plate holder option. And you can just print this out if you do not need a license plate holder, and it will work just exactly the same way. Everything's the same. If you want to see the files and the installation process, you can also just quickly jump to GitHub or Printables, where I've linked everything that you need to know. But you can also watch this video to the end and you'll have all the information that you need to create this part for yourself, mount it, and have some fun for free. So you don't need to pay anything. You can just download your new license plate holder or your new tail and you're ready to go without having to pay anything. Isn't that cool? It is. If you like this video, just leave a like and comment down below. It helps the algorithm a lot and I'll be really grateful for this. Thank you for your support and have fun.
So here we are in the Orca Slicer, and I just wanted to show you the setup for printing this tail with the license plate holder option. So as you can see, I inserted some support blockers. You're using the tree support, the auto-generated one, and it will do supports at every one of these holes here, and we do not want to have that because they are fine without supports. Another thing I added here depends on if you if your slicer does it automatically or not. I had some random hole here where it didn't want to place supports, so I inserted this cube to force supports. You can do this by right-clicking and then just add support. And yeah, that's basically it. Make sure to also create support blockers here. As I showed you right now, you can just press right-click and then add support blockers. And then just scale it on the axis until you've covered both of these holes. You could also do like single cubes here. It doesn't matter, just it has to be covered in this red. Then it won't print any supports there. If you find any other support structures that are in your way, just make sure to add these blockers. Another thing I want to say is I'm printing this in PETG HS from eSun. I've been running this for around, I think, 800 kilometers now. And I think I probably did around half of all the kilometers on, doing wheelies. So I've also been riding just maybe a few kilometers just to try it out on the highway, and until now everything held up fine. So as I said, I used PETG, but in the video you can see that I've been using black PETG HS, which looks really cool, shiny, looks really good. But a downside of this may be if you're in a very sunny area, the black color is not the best choice for you, because as you know, it will heat up in the sun very quick, and maybe printing it in a gray tone will keep the heat away a lot easier, and you don't have to be afraid of possible mechanical failures due to the heat. So I've been running this in gray. I just printed it for you in black because I thought it looked good, and I just had black laying around. Make sure to check this. Maybe a gray tone will be the smarter choice. You can also print this in different filaments, maybe a carbon fiber filament or ASA, ABS. I don't know. I didn't use it. For me, it was just fine. Keep that in mind. This is just what I've been using, and for the last 800 kilometers, it held up with no issue. You can also see my settings that I am using quite a lot of infill. I'm using 50%. Which arguably is quite a lot, but I wanted to give it as much strength as I can. I thought everything above would be maybe wasted, but probably 25% will do the job as well. The difference is 20 grams. So if you slice it this way, it will be 150 grams of filament that you're using, and with 25% it will just be 130. I've been printing it with 50% infill and it held up just fine. Also, I'm using 6 wall layers, which is quite a lot, but as I said, I want the part to be pretty strong, and I'm using top layers and lower layers, both 5. So yeah, the part is strong, rigid, and will hold up for quite some time. Those are just values based on my experience, and you can experiment with it as you like, but I can recommend these values. Also, if we go through the part, you can see that the 6 wall layers that we're using make it a solid part at the edges, and at these parts here, this is exactly what I wanted to achieve with the 6 wall layers. And yeah, that's why I wouldn't go, I would just stick to these values. But if you want to change something, maybe just the infill, yeah, the wall layers should be at 6, I think, because they make the part really, really strong. If your supports look like this, then you're probably good to go. This looks a little bit weird on my slicer, but you know, it works. So maybe we just shouldn't think about it too much and just print it. So if it looks like this, give it a go. We'll print this now. It takes 6 hours and 37 minutes. You can see my printing speed right here. This is for PETG HS, as I said, from eSun. I do not know how the values should look like on another filament, but I tweaked these for me and found out they work best for me. So I'm using them. So if you have the same filament, try it out. Maybe it will help you, and give it a shot.
Okay, so if you chose to print the first version of the tail with the license plate holder option, then you're going to be left with this. So try to focus. There we go with the focus. So now we just have to remove all the supporting structures, and yeah, print quality looks pretty good. And if you're interested in how to print this part with a Prusa Mini converted to Core XY, which is right in the background, you can check out another video on my channel. Let's trim it down and remove the supports. Okay, so I spent the last 12 minutes of my lovely life removing the support structures. I'm sorry for that, I just could design it better without any supports. But you'll be left with this. Wait, focus. Okay, there we have focus. So you see, after removing the supports, you got these scars on top of the part. I know it's not nice, but it will be covered by the tail of your Sur-Ron anyway, so no one's gonna see it. Okay, maybe someone's gonna see that part, but this part not. Yeah, that's it. What you're left with, I think it looks pretty decent. And yeah, so let's go to the part where I show you how to install this. Wonderful supporting structures.
So one more step I would highly recommend you to do is the following. The original tail covers up a hole at your rear fender where the cables are being guided through, so they are dust and waterproof. Since we've removed the original tail, there's a hole in your rear fender where the cables go through now. We've got the original rear fender cover that is being shipped with our Sur-Ron Ultra Bee for off-road use, for example, so that dust and water won't be able to enter that easy under your seat post where the cables sit. And we want to use this dust cover and modify it a little bit. So we want to remove some material as seen in the video, for example with a Dremel or with some files, and we want to make a small gap or small hole as big as necessary but as small as possible, so your wire connection from the inside to the outside will be a little bit more dust and waterproof. Also, it looks a lot cleaner and your cables will not just hang around. You don't necessarily have to do this, but I would strongly recommend it. It's not a watertight or dust-proof sealing, but I also don't think it has to be. It's just much cleaner to use this version and a little safeguard against water and dust. So the next thing you want to do is to remove the cable connectors from your indicators and your rear light. Be very careful when you do it. I used some pliers and grabbed the connectors really carefully. And I can recommend you to pull back this sleeve where the cables are inside. Just gently pull them back, pull out the connectors, and you'll be fine. After that, you want to remove the following 4 screws. And when you've done that, you can remove your original tail completely. You can then remove your rear light and your indicators, and then you can go on with removing your rear fender completely. You can start removing your rear fender by pulling out these plastic pins out of their plastic sleeves. Make sure that the pin with the sleeve is being removed from the fender. Otherwise, you won't be able to remove your rear fender without breaking these off. So be careful with it. After that, you can remove the 2 crosshead screws, and that's already it. Then you'll be able to pull off the complete rear fender. And to make this video even less professional than I've already started it, I'm going to show you how to install the tail bracket onto your rear fender on this video, because I've already installed it and I didn't want to install it another time. What you want to do is you take your rear fender and lay it on the top. So on this side here. And if you've done that, you'll take your bracket. Maybe I would recommend you to already install your tail light. And then this is the way that I did it. Like there's no right or wrong, but I installed it so that it's more or less flush with the tail, just a small little bit behind. So I don't know if you're excessively scraping your rear fender, I would probably move it a little bit more into this direction. Otherwise, if you're not doing that, maybe just an amateur wheelie dude like me, you can just leave it as it is like this. If it's laying on the ground, so on the top side, you will have to position the bracket because you're looking from that side on it then. And you'll have to scrape with a screwdriver through these holes and mark where you want to drill. Lay it down, maybe even use some double-sided tape to fix the position so it will not move to left or right or whatever, and your holes will be misaligned. After that, you can start drilling your holes into your fender, and that's basically everything you have to do. After drilling the holes up, you can just check if everything is aligned correctly. If it's not perfectly aligned, what you could probably do is make 3 of these holes a little bit bigger, and that way you have like one pivot point, maybe like this point, and all of these holes you can just make them a little bit bigger. So you could rotate your taillight bracket a little bit around and change the position a little bit. But that's basically everything you need to do. Of course, you will have to insert your self-locking hex nuts inside of the bracket, but that's really everything you have to do for the installation process. So there's also one more thing you can do. I provided the models for it. The rear fender kind of follows like that curved profile, and if you want to screw your screw through your fender into your bracket, it would kind of look like this. So your screw will try to follow this path because the screw head will be flat on this edge surface, which is not perfect. So I created some custom washers that compensate this profile. So your screw head can rest on top of it flat, and the screw will be going straight into your bracket underneath. You can just download the file and print it out. Honestly, the washers are not perfect, but they kind of get the job done. Print them in a high quality, maybe 0.08 millimeters height, and maybe print them just half as fast as the rest you're printing. And it could be a little bit of a pain to install them, but for me it worked out. You have to kind of hold this edge with your fingernail a little bit, because the washers are also cut off at one side, so they kind of look like this from the top. Like there's your hole, and because you kind of don't have a lot of space between this rounded profile and the sharp edge here. So yeah, just try it out, print it, try to install it, put them underneath your screws, and tell me if they get the job done for you as well or not. And maybe I'll have to do some new kind of custom bracket. So if you followed the video till this point, first of all, thanks for watching all these explanations and stuff. And this is your finished result. So I hope it's a pleasing result for you. I hope you like it. And I hope it will hold up for you quite some time, maybe forever. We don't know. Let me know what you think about it, if it was an easy installation process when you did it, or if you've got some improvements. Feel free to do improvements as well. As I said, I provided the step files for it as well as the STLs, and maybe you do some modifications. If you did some, let me know. I can publish them on Printables, Thingiverse, or GitHub as well. And yeah, I'm always glad for feedback. So thanks for watching, and goodbye.